Netflix has more options than anyone could reasonably need. Rows and rows of thumbnails. New shows every week. Something is always being called must watch, as if your life will fall apart if you don't start it tonight. And yet, you're back on film, Terminator, or film Avatar. Or that movie you know so well you could probably mouth the lines in your sleep. Someone eventually asks why you don't try something new, and you don't really have a good answer. You just know this feels better. That's the part that matters. Rewatching isn't about being stuck. It's not laziness. It's not a lack of curiosity. Most of the time, it's your brain quietly choosing what it needs instead of what it's told it should want. Sometimes life just feels loud, unpredictable. One thing after another. Work stuff, people stuff. The general sense that everything is changing faster than you can keep up with. When that's the backdrop, a familiar show becomes this oddly soothing place. You already know how it ends. No one dies unexpectedly. The joke lands exactly where you remember it. There's something deeply comforting about that certainty. It's like coming home, kicking off your shoes, and realizing no one moved the furniture. Nothing is demanding anything from you. Other times, it's not comfort you're after, it's rest. The real kind. The kind your brain needs after making 1,000 tiny decisions all day. Choosing something new actually takes effort. New characters, new plot lines, new rules to learn. Rewatching lets your mind switch to autopilot. You don't have to track anything, you don't have to keep up, you can just exist. The show becomes background warmth, mental white noise, a way to recharge without spending whatever energy you have left. And then there's the nostalgia factor, which sneaks up on you. You press play, and suddenly you're not just watching a show, you're visiting an old version of yourself. The person you were when you first saw it. Maybe you were younger. Maybe life felt simpler. Maybe someone important was sitting next to you on the couch back then. The characters haven't changed, even though everything else has. That's why a scene you've seen 10 times can still hit you in the chest. You're not reacting to the story anymore. You're reacting to the memory. Some people rewatch for a completely different reason. They're not trying to relax or escape. They're paying attention. They love catching the background jokes, the tiny expressions, the details that slipped by the first time. For them, the story isn't finished after one viewing. It opens up. Each rewatch adds another layer, another connection. It's less like comfort food and more like rereading a favorite book and noticing something new in the margins. What's funny is that in a culture obsessed with novelty new releases, new trends, new everything, rewatching is actually a form of self-knowledge. It's knowing when you need safety instead of surprise, rest instead of stimulation, memory instead of momentum. Maybe the goal isn't to keep up with everything that's new. Maybe it's to recognize what makes you feel okay when the day finally slows down. So if you're on your 12th rewatch of the same show, you're not doing anything wrong. You're listening. And honestly, that one show you always go back to? It probably says more about you than any must-watch ever could.